All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the House Environment and Transportation Committee for Tuesday, March 19th. Bill hearings, aka Parade of the Senators. And we'll start with an alum of our committee, Senator McCray, SB 91, Workforce Development and Adult Learning Leasing Training Program Establishment.
Well, let me start by saying first that it brings me great joy to be able to say good evening, Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair. For the record, Corey McCray, Senator for the 45th Legislative District. Look like I'm here before you all in reference to Senate Bill 91, which simply starts a program. It gives the governor the option to be able to start a program around workforce training for those that have different large apartment complexes from that standpoint. It looked like we also did something this respective year to move in that direction, but this will be as we move forward from a budgetary standpoint. And I'll take any questions and hope that there's a favorable report in reference to this respective bill, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Any questions for Senator McCray? All right, thanks for joining us.
It's great to see so many familiar faces.
See you tomorrow. We will turn to SB 333, Senator Heddleman, Housing and Community Development, Affordable Housing, Identifying Suitable Property.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Madam Vice Chair, my delegate. Great to see you. Great to see everybody. For the record, I'm Shelley Heddleman. I'm happy to be here today to present Senate Bill 333. This is actually tweaking a piece of legislation that this body passed in 2022 to look at surplus state-owned property and to determine whether it's suitable for use for the development of workforce housing. We set out a series of criteria. We kind of made it too stringent for the department to make it really applicable, usable. And so we're changing that by repealing some requirements and giving them a little more flexibility to make sure that we're not, that we're allowing them to use land that is suitable for the development of housing. Happy to answer any questions. This passed the committee, the cross-file House Bill 283 in the same posture.
Any questions for Senator Heddleman? I have a question. Have you taken a look at that transportation package we're sending over yet? Thanks for walking across the street.
Thank you.
See you next time. We can call up Secretary Day, I think is doing SB 308, Housing and Community Development, Just Community Designation.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Madam Vice Chair, ladies and gentlemen of the committee. Here in support of Senate Bill 308, which creates a just community designation for the prioritization of state funding. This is the counterpart to House Bill 241 that this body passed out. I'm happy to take any questions.
Excellent testimony. Any questions for the Secretary? Okay, thank you, Mr. Secretary. And I think your staff is here. Chuck, are you going to do SB 518?
Yes, sir.
You want to come up and do that real fast?
Yep. SB 518 is identical to HB 285, which was put in by Subcommittee Chair Holmes. This is a bill that would allow us to extend the time period it takes for us to complete the work of the Appraisal Gap Task Force. We appreciate the work of Senator Washington and Delegate Holmes on giving us that grace and that period of time to get this done. And we appreciate it.
Thank you. Any questions for the department? Okay, that concludes the bill here on SB 518. I think we have staff from Senator Muse here to talk about SB 446, Local Government, Condominium Homeowners Associations, Repair and Rehabilitation Funds.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Madam Vice Chair, and members of the House Environment and Transportation Committee. For the record, I am Brandy Calhoun here on behalf of Senator Muse for SB 446, which is the exact cross-file of the esteemed and longstanding member of this committee, Delegate Marvin Holmes. His bill was HB 280. Delegate Holmes has worked on this bill for several years, and we're just happy that it passed this year. Again, it's enabling legislation, and I'll take any questions if anyone has any, or Delegate Holmes can answer any questions.
Any questions for Senator Muse's staff? Okay, thank you. That concludes Bill on SB 446. Do we have someone from Senator West's office? SB 15, Cooperative Housing Corporation Dispute Settlement. Please go ahead, sir.
Hello, I'm Joey Connor from Senator West's office. Dear Chairman Corman and members of the committee, Maryland does not have many cooperative housing associations. In the case of a condominium, the condominium owner owns in fee the space occupied by the condominium. In the case of a high-rise condominium, this means the buyer owns airspace, which constitutes part of the building. Other condominium owners own their own airspaces. Under the condo regime, each condo owner has a joint ownership interest in the building's common elements. In the case of a co-op, the owner is a partial owner of the entire building. As one of the building owners, the co-op owner has the right to live in one of the apartments in the building. This bill addresses situations in which a co-op owner fails to abide by the rules of the co-op, which are set by the governing body of the co-op. The bill makes modest changes to the existing statute, setting forth the mechanism for enforcing the rules of the co-op against non-compliant co-op members. Most importantly, upon the request of the alleged violator, the bill provides the violator with an opportunity for a hearing about the violation before the governing body. In the event of such request, the violator will be entitled to at least 10 days written notice of the time and place of the hearing. If no hearing is requested, then the bill requires that at the next meeting of the governing body, it must deliberate as to whether the violation occurred and decide what sanction, if any, to impose. Senate Bill 15 is identical to cross-file House Bill 309, which passed out of the House unanimously and reflects the current dispute settlement provisions that govern condominiums and homeowners associations in Maryland. I appreciate the committee's consideration of Senate Bill 15 and urge a favorable report.
Thank you. So we have a question from Delegate Healy.
I just wanted to relay to Senator West, thanking him for cross-filing my bill, which I have sent in many, many times, and I'm very happy that it came out of the Senate finally. So I'm very grateful about that. But we have a lot of we have a lot of co-ops. We do have a lot of co-ops, and I have one of the largest in the state in my district.
Understood.
So I'm quite aware, and as I said, this bill is not unfamiliar to me or to this committee. So appreciate all your effort. But I think the last sentence probably would have said it all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Delegate Healy, any other questions? All right, thank you, sir. Is anyone here from Senator Waldstreicher's office? How about Senator Watson? Come on down. SB 418, Seed Community Development Anchor Institution Fund alterations.
Greetings, Chair and Vice Chair and members of the Environmental and Transportation Committee. For the record, my name is Shayla Moon, representing the Office of Senator Ron Watson. I'm here to introduce Senate Bill 418. It is a cross-file of Delegate Holmes' House Bill 891. We urge a favorable report. And any questions?
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Okay, that concludes the bill hearing on SB 418. Anyone here for SB 162, Senator Waldstreicher's landlord and tenant termination of residential lease, limitation of liability for rent? Okay, while we give him a minute, let's turn to our resident historian for his ENT minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Give me a moment to get it up. I wasn't quite ready. Let's see. I don't want to butcher the date. Let's see.
While he is working on that, a little bit more about the schedule this week. Obviously, we are hearing, the Senate cross files. We also have a few stray House bills that we will hear tomorrow. Some things we got out of rules late, or we got a delegation letter for. Back to Senate bills only on Thursday. We will plan to vote Thursday after our bill hearings and before our dinner. So please plan to be voting on Thursday. I don't think we'll have very much, but we could possibly have the governor's third housing bill. So keep an ear out for that. And I don't expect any committee business on Friday, assuming we finish what we need to do on Thursday. And with that, I think we now have someone for SB 162, Senator Waldstreicher. Landlord and tenant termination of residential lease, limitation of liability for rent. Please go ahead.
Mr. Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the committee. My name is Kara Dudley and I'm Chief of Staff to Senator Jeff Waldstreicher. Senate Bill 162 creates parity between mental health and physical health when it comes to lease terminations. It is the cross-file to House Bill 93, sponsored by Delegate Miraku North. House Bill 93 passed this committee unanimously. It passed the House floor by a vote of 121 to 14. The bills are in the exact same posture. On behalf of Senator Jeff Waldstreicher, I ask for a favorable report on Senate Bill 162. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Okay, that concludes the bill here on SB 162. Thanks for being here. So just to go back to the schedule, that line of thinking, we also won't send these identical cross files to subcommittees. I think we can just bring those out to the full committee. We all, know the discussion and how we're going to vote. But if there are differences or if there are bills that we haven't had previously, obviously those will still be routed through the subcommittees for you all to do your work in that environment. So that's kind of the plan going forward here. I think you should expect, something very similar next week. We just got a lot of Senate bills to, churn through and churn out. And then just for everyone's benefit, I'm meeting with Chair Smith and Chair Feldman this week to talk about the bills we have in each other's committees. And I've also communicated with Chair Gazzoni and Chair Beitel. We just have a lot fewer bills with Chair Gazzoni and Chair Beitel. So it's a little bit of a different exercise. So with that filibuster winding down, let's turn to Delegate Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I wanted to make sure I got the exact date right. So it has been 39 years and 2 months since one of our colleagues was named as the editor of the Catholic Review, the weekly newspaper of the Archdiocese of Baltimore. So if everyone could put their hands together to honor our great colleague, Delegate Ann Healy.
Thank you, Delegate Stewart. Should also just note, when it comes to these subcommittee meetings, they might be at irregular times. So the schedule we had for the first, 2.5 months is going to look a little bit different these last few weeks, as you all know. And with that, subcommittee announcements, back to Delegate Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Happy to continue the filibuster effort. So the Land Use and Ethics Subcommittee will be meeting today after our bill hearings, assuming we finish them and enough senators show up for us to finish them. But yes, we will meet this afternoon. We might also meet tomorrow afternoon after bill hearings, but if we finish our work today, then we will not meet tomorrow.
I have exciting news. We're done with the Senate bill hearing. So this is the filibuster was for you to get your history moment together. So Chair Love.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Motor vehicles will meet tomorrow between floor and hearings. So stay tuned. We have 3 bills on the docket and Gretchen will get you the link. Thank you.
All right, everybody good?
Precise now that I know we are not actually waiting on anyone. Land Use and Ethics will meet on Zoom at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. on Zoom.
Great. Anything else from anybody? Okay. Delegate Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Land Use and Ethics Committee, of whom we are very proud of our 2 minority party members, the Land Use and Ethics Subcommittee of the Environment and Transportation Committee will be meeting at 2 p.m. on Zoom today in roughly 16 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, I think that finishes us up for today. So thank you all very much. We are adjourned.